Well, hello there. I think it's time for another video. Today I want to talk about tripods. I want to take you quickly through my tripod history and bring you from where I started with tripods in photography 15 years ago to what I've used my last few years with Micro Four Thirds, and now that I'm using an EM1X, you know, it's a much heavier camera than the EM5 I've been using for the last 3 years. I needed another tripod. So when I first started shooting my DSLR back in 2005, I went and bought this gigantic, heavy Manfrotto Wilderness tripod. It's all aluminum, it's got flip locks, it's got a real heavy-duty ball head, but this tripod was so huge and so heavy that I found myself leaving it in the car most of the time because I didn't want to carry it. It was too long to strap onto a backpack. It was just too cumbersome to deal with. And so I found myself improvising a lot, using sandbags, using clamps, doing things handheld, and just going without a tripod. So it's a really nice tripod, but I never use it. In 2018, I switched to mirrorless. I switched to Micro Four Thirds. I started using an Olympus EM5 Mark II, and taking my memories of having a tripod that was so heavy it was never able to be brought with me, I went and found this. I found this little Benro Tripster carbon fiber tripod. This thing weighs like 2 pounds. It's awesome. I love it. It fits in my backpack, fits in my carry-on luggage. I can take this thing everywhere. Fantastic little tripod. But when I got the EM1X last year, that little tripod is just not enough. So I wanted to find a third tripod that fits right in the middle between the gigantic Manfrotto that I never carry and the tiny little Tripster that almost fits in my pocket. I set myself a budget of about $500, and I gave myself a few criteria that I wanted my new tripod to have, and I ended up settling on the Benro Tortoise 35C. This is a carbon fiber tripod. It's got twist lock legs. It's got a nice ball head that it comes with. It's relatively light. It's relatively short compared to the Manfrotto. Weighs maybe 4 pounds or so. And today is my first day taking it out in the field. So today I'm gonna go around and show you what I think of it. I'm gonna try some seascape photography, and I'm gonna see what it can do, see what it can't do, and find out if there's any deal killers about it, and start figuring out how we're going to work it into my my EM1X workflow. So come along with me, this ought to be fun. Well, originally I wanted to come here and shoot some seascapes because I thought we were going to have a storm today. I thought it was going to be cloudy and dark and moody. It is bright. There's not a cloud in the sky, and to make that even worse, there is one heck of a wind going right now. So probably the worst day imaginable for photography, but it actually might be a kind of a fun day to test out how stable this tripod really is. So I guess we're gonna do that. Okay, it was so windy I had to come and sit in the car. You can possibly even still hear the wind going on outside. The vehicle is moving. It's one of those like hold on to the car door handle, otherwise you're gonna rip your door off kind of things. The down stuffing was coming out of my jacket while I was standing on the beach. So due to the wind and due to the terrible conditions, I didn't get a chance to put this tripod through its paces as hard as I had hoped today. So I'm just gonna do a quick rundown on a few of my impressions so far. It's nice and lightweight, and it's very thin. It's very narrow diameter because it doesn't have a center column. There's no center column, so you can extend the legs, and that's as high as it gets. It gets to about chin height, which is as high as I need it to for photography. Because the EM1X has a tilt-out screen, I don't have to put my eye to the back of the camera. I can use the screen, and that works well enough. It's got rubber feet on the bottom that screw off. I think these threads are plastic, so I'm not sure how long that's going to hold up. But inside the feet, there are different size Allen wrenches that are attached to the feet, so that's a kind of a cool feature. The tripod does come with metal spike feet that you can replace these with. So if you're on rock, if you're on sand, if you're on something slippery, if you're on ice, you can replace those. The twist locks work really well. They're fast, they're easy. It feels like almost everything from here down is made of plastic and carbon fiber and rubber, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of chance of anything really rusting if you use this in the water, especially in the salt water, the way I intend it to. And if this is anything like my Tripster tripod, these come apart fairly easily, and you can really clean the entire inside fairly effectively. The ball head it's okay. It takes a couple of turns to really loosen this and move the ball head, and then when you want to tighten it, you don't really feel a lot of increasing tension for a while. So it's going to take me a little bit to get used to this ball head. I can't just give it a half turn and have this go super loose and then give it a half turn and have it lock up really solid like some of the other ball heads I've used. Not saying it's a bad thing. I like how there's a wide range of friction available, but it's not just tight, loose, the way some other tripods are. The head has a little bubble level on it, and that works in conjunction with the panoramic head. So just this part of the head rotates, so it makes it really easy to level the base and then loosen this screw, and you can rotate the camera and keep it level for shooting panoramas. That was one of the features I really wanted my next tripod to have, was an easy way of leveling the head. I like this better than a leveling base that fits down here. I think this gives me a lot more options on difficult terrain. You can also see that this has a ARCA compatible clamp. So you twist it out open, camera will slide in, and then one half turn and it tightens it down. You can also loosen it so that the camera can drop in. You have another panning adjustment here on the base. So there's a lot of adjustment on this ball head, and these legs go out pretty far. And due to the fact that there's no center column, you can get this tripod really, really, really low to the ground for some cool low angle photographs. And it's about the same length as my camera backpack, and due to the fact that it's pretty light, it makes it really easy to carry. I don't notice that I'm carrying it on my backpack. My backpack doesn't feel unbalanced or canted off to one side like it did with my heavier tripod. So I think this is going to be fairly travel friendly. This is almost short enough to fit into my carry-on luggage, but not quite. If I was going to fly with a tripod, I'd probably still bring the Tripster or find something else to improvise with. It's got these cool little 1/4-20 threaded sockets, 3 of them at the top of the legs for threading in accessories. So if you have something like a magic arm or some kind of other accessory to hold a light or to hold a microphone, it can do that. It does have a little hook that threads into the bottom here. So if you want to hang a weight off of this to stabilize it in the wind, you can do that. Other than that, pretty simple. It's affordable, it's lightweight, it's tall, it's sturdy, and it's got some pretty nifty features. So I can't wait to use this more in some more situations once the weather calms down and I can actually take it out and really try some long exposures with it. So I decided, for comedy's sake, to compare the Benro Tripster tripod to the new Benro Tortoise. So both tripods at full extension on a windy beach in a narrow gap where there's probably a 35 or 40 mile an hour wind blowing across the beach. I took a long exposure photograph, a 2-second photograph, and I took a 10-second video clip. And so first of all, I'm going to show you the performance of the Tripster tripod with a 2-second long exposure photograph. And now here is the Tripster tripod and a video clip. This is with the image stabilizer turned off. So this is just the tripod doing the best it can to stabilize the video. And you can see at the end of the Tripster tripod clip, the camera actually blew over. I was standing with my hands around the center column just in case the camera blew over, and it did. And now here's the same long exposure photograph with the Tortoise tripod, and now here is the video clip with the Tortoise tripod. So all 4 of these clips were shot at 400 millimeters full extension on the 100 to 400 millimeter lens with the EM1X. So The Tortoise is definitely more stable than the smaller, lighter travel tripod, but you probably already knew that, but I thought it would be really fun to show it. There were people here in the parking lot looking at me like I was some kind of an idiot trying to, set up a tripod shot in this kind of wind, but it was really fun, and I didn't break anything, so that was really cool. Sorry this review wasn't as in-depth as I hoped it to be. I didn't get a chance to show you some really cool photographs that I was able to make with this tripod. That's just the nature of landscape photography and seascape photography. Sometimes the weather conspires against you. So at least I was able to get out here and do something. I got to do some exploring. I got to play with my tripod. I got to make a silly comparison video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. I hope you had a chuckle at me almost breaking my camera. And I will be back with another video next week. See you soon.